Put away the dread of time flying by and stop questioning how we're this deep into the yearly calendar already, and just appreciate the relentless onslaught of good video games we've received. And I'm happy to say that it is not slowing down in August, so let's have a look at all of the interesting games releasing in the next 30 days and buckle up because there's quite a few. Many in early access games have been lost in the Forgotten Realms, but Baldur's Gate 3 is prepared to burst forth from that purgatory on the 3rd. From the creators of Divinity 2 and set in the world of D&D, there has been plenty of discussion about how deep this game goes. It promises to be a next-generation RPG, and judging by the immense success of the early access, the rave reviews and the player satisfaction, this is 100% a title that will threaten any work-life game balance and one to check out if you're wanting to burn hundreds of hours in the blink of an eye. Ever wanted a cross between Diablo and Pokemon? Well, put away your Necro's undead bone bros and opt for a much cuter army in Adore, which is leaving its well-received early access on the 3rd and releasing on all consoles. This one is a creature collecting action game with roguelite elements that will see you forming a team of creatures before flinging them out of your staff at any enemy like a young Gandalf that took up zookeeping. If you like staring at butterflies and documenting your finds, well, Flutter Away on the 3rd is your game. Play as a butterfly researcher on a relaxing and scenic 5-day trip to the Amazon rainforest who is determined to befriend, study and catalog the local wildlife. Sometimes one good hit is all it takes to claim victory, and that is exactly what Slash sets out to show you. A gorgeous looking 2D hand-drawn one-hit kill samurai dueling game that kinda reminds me a lot of Nidhogg, but with that samurai sauce and a big visual upgrade. This one's releasing on the 4th on basically everything, and I gotta say, it looks pretty fun. Super Space Club, also on the 4th, will let you retire from the age of complex games and go back to the simple Space Invader days with a bit of extra movement. This one's a low-poly spaceship shooter that, to absolutely no one's surprise, will let you blast and vaporize your enemies in, you guessed it, space. Gourd on the 8th is a game created by former Witcher 3 devs and is a single-player survival city builder and strategy game. This one will see you leading the Tribe of the Dawn as you attempt to bolster their small camp into the city whilst fostering the people and their wills in order to survive deep in the Forbidden Lands. And you'll have your work cut out for you because I'm sure the local land value has decreased a tiny bit courtesy of, well, everything trying to kill you, eat you, or claim your stuff, so defend it well. Coming to new-gen consoles and PC. Oh brother, it's about to get real on Wrestlequest, which is a retro-styled wrestling game that will see you hitting the ropes and tag teaming with legends like Jake the Snake Roberts and Randy Savage to go elbow dropping, power bombing, tombstoning, and 5-star frog splashing your way from the rookie leagues to the big stages and the bright lights. This game really looks like a damn blast and has a sweet chin music to my ears as it looks to really fill the retro hole in my heart with good old wrestling. Gods, romance, murder, and musical numbers. If that mad mix of things interests you, then here's Stray Gods, the role-playing musical. You'll play as Grace in a world where the Greek gods have decided to live in hiding amongst the mortals. I guess they got sick of that vista view from Mount Olympus. You'll be using the power of good old music to uncover the mystery behind the last muse's death. And assuming you don't mind a few musical numbers, this one has potential with some pretty big notable behind-the-scenes developers. Coming on the 10th to everything. If Monster Hunter, Destiny, Devil May Cry, and Dune had an orgy, you'd probably end up with Atlast Fallen. This one's a visually impressive game that will see you hacking, slashing, and mashing large beasts into the sand on a quest to liberate humanity from a corrupted god. It also features a lot of gliding on sand, and I can feel a certain Skywalker cringing right now. Coming on the 10th to next-gen consoles and PC. Seems like we've also got a couple little co-op games in the mix, which personally makes me very happy. Hammerwatch 2 asks you to gather the heroes, possibly grab some friends, and get ready to venture beyond the castle to aid the king's resistance after he was overthrown by an evil mastermind and his army of dragons. I'm very happy to see some awesome-looking co-op-friendly titles getting sequels, and if you want to hack and slash to play with friends, this one is the follow-up to the first excellent game and pops out on the 15th on everything. Following on with co-op game sequels, here's Moving Out 2, which is also releasing on August the 16th to PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Once again, join the expert removalists at Smooth Moves to show your clients how to completely obliterate their bond by sending couches crashing through windows. You know what? I'm sure you and your friends will be great fart technicians and won't be completely chaotic whirlwinds of destruction that will leave your customers with several required renovations and puddles of tears. If real-time strategy games and stealthy ghost pirates get wind in your sails, then Shadow Gambit the Cursed Crew will tickle ye fancy. Coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC on the 17th, you'll be forming a ragtag team of scallywags to plan an epic heist and deal with the one thing that no pirate ever expects: the Inquisition. This one interests me a bit. It seems like a cocktail of all these different elements wrapped up in the black and white Jolly Roger. Look, I feel like I've been waiting an age for a reboot of Jet Set Radio Future. That game was straight up my childhood. And it seems perhaps the devs behind Bomb Rush Cyberfunk got sick of waiting and decided to make the spiritual successor themselves. Take to the streets of New Amsterdam and dispatch rival gangs and highly militarized police. And in classic Jet Set style, graffiti the city to death in the process. Coming to PC and Switch on the 18th, yes please. Our favorite face-on-face wearing, chainsaw-wielding, yellow apron-rocking psychopath is back with his whole family in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This game is a third-person asymmetrical horror where players take on the role of the Slaughter family, or their captives in the basement to duke it out in a game of survival. Coming on the 18th to PS5, Xbox X, and PC, this game I thought I'd roll my eyes at. However, after I got to experience the early betas, I gotta say I'm looking forward to the whole bloody experience. After some delays, the spell-slinging Immortals of Aveum will be hitting our screens on August the 22nd on new gen and PC. It's a first-person magical shooter following Jack as he joins an order of elite battle mages in order to fend off the fiends and save the world as it teeters on the edge of the abyss in an event called the Ever War. It's looking like a fun romp of an FPS game, and I hope they're happy with the final product after their delays. I don't know the reason why people keep sending solo response units to alarming distress beacons deep in outer space, but it's happened again in Fort Solis, a solitary, eerie cinematic walking sim about uncovering what happened at a remote, isolated mining colony. Again, why are these situations left to a single first responder? Either the main character has massive balls or is getting a massive paycheck. Not only does this game look great, it's also got the voice of Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2 behind it, so yep, I am sold. Coming on August the 22nd to PS5 and PC. Following up from the first excellent game, the Penitent One awakens again in Blasphemous 2 on August the 24th. I guess it's time to commit some sins against the church in this Metroidvania-like hack-and-slash platformer, which I can only hope follows in the footsteps of the first, which had an excellent mix of narrative elements and solid action wrapped up in a good level of difficulty. I'm just happy to see a sequel. This month's big one is FromSoft's revival of their favorite mech smash and romp in Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Now, I'm not one for mechs, but this developer has earned a reputation and a whole lot of trust from me because they put out banger after banger, which has got me waiting on this game. It looks to combine their older AC games with a bit more of a new Souls approach, at least as much as possible, and factoring in the whole blitzing around in a mech suit full of rocket thrusters part anyway. With the direction they've taken previously, I can only hope that this game will capture and engage their community. Coming on August the 25th to PS, Xbox, and PC, yes please. You know what, maybe we'll take a break from world-ending cataclysms and focus more on the perceived world-ending cataclysm in Goodbye Volcano High on the 29th. This is a narrative adventure about the impending doom of graduating from high school and the upheaval that it brings these strange dinosaur bird lizard creatures. The 29th has quite a few games dropping, starting with Sea of Stars from the creators of the excellent indie game The Messenger. Coming to PlayStation, PC, and Switch, this is an excellent-looking pixel art turn-based combat game that looks to capture the feel of the classics that came before it. After their last release, I look forward to seeing if they can keep up their quality, but so far, it's looking good. Subnautica, but with a bit more crippling loneliness and existential crisis sprinkled in, nets you under the waves on the 29th. You'll follow Stan, a man on a self-imposed solitude under the veil of the ocean that is struggling to deal with loss. Is it his unhealthy mind, or are the strange events he begins to experience a little too real? Either way, I have no idea how Stan swims with those cannonballs between his legs, because I wouldn't last 2 minutes down there. Also on the 29th is Daymare 1994 Sandcastle, which is a prequel to Daymare 1998. If you can do the math, it takes place 4 years before the original, and is a third-person horror shooter that puts you in the shoes of a special operative entering into the most high-tech lab in America. I feel like I've heard that before, and surely nothing will go wrong. Finally, the Trine series is back with Trine 5, a Clockwork conspiracy on the 31st. Coming to consoles, PC, and the Switch, it's a gorgeous-looking 2.5D platformer playable with up to 4 people that features plenty of fighting and a bit of brain-scratching puzzles. Frankly, the Trine games are always a blast to play co-op with a friend or a few, and I look forward to seeing them continue their adventure. Woo! Woo! And that's a wrap for August. I hope your wallets aren't feeling too threatened, but please do comment down below what you're interested in this month. Genuinely, I am curious. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I am your local game dealer, Fizz. I appreciate your time. Goodbye. See you next time.